Hello everyone. Today we are traveling back to the windswept steppes of the 14th century to a time when one man's name was spoken with both fear and admiration. His name was Timur, known in the West as Tamerlane. This is not just the story of a conqueror, but of a visionary who built an empire and left behind a legacy of art, culture, and power. Timur was born in 1336 near Kesh, in what is now Uzbekistan. He belonged to the Bars tribe, a blend of Turkic and Mongol heritage. He grew up in a nomadic world, learning the ways of the horse, the bow, and the battlefield from an early age. During his youth, he was wounded in battle and left with a limp, earning him the name Timur the Lame, Aksak Timur in Turkish. But that limp never slowed his ambition. He may have walked unevenly, but his path toward greatness never wavered. By 1370, Timur had secured control over Transoxiana, the heart of Central Asia. From there, he launched a series of conquests that would stretch from Persia to Mesopotamia, from India to Anatolia. He wasn't just a warrior, he was a master strategist. Timur fought with both his sword and his mind, defeating enemies through clever diplomacy and psychological warfare. Yet, what makes Timur so fascinating is that behind his fierce conquests was a man deeply passionate about art and architecture. Timur's teacher, Said Bereke, is the most important character in Timur's life. Said Bereke taught Timur how to think, Islamic philosophy, geometry, and astronomy. As a scholar and philosopher, Said Bereke occupied a crucial position in Timur's life. Indeed, Said Bereke lies at the most prominent spot in Timur's tomb. Timur's black gravestone is at his teacher's feet, and his tomb is located at the most prominent spot. Timur learned art and philosophy thanks to him. Wherever his armies marched, he gathered the most skilled artisans, architects, and scholars and brought them to his capital, Semerkand. Under his rule, Semerkand became one of the most magnificent cities of its age, a shining jewel of culture and science. Majestic mosques, grand madrasas, and dazzling blue-tiled domes began to rise across the skyline. Even today, when you walk through Semerkand and see the shimmering mosaics of the Registan Square, you are seeing the echo of Timur's vision. But as with many great figures of history, his legacy carries both brilliance and darkness.
Evet, Timur'un desteklediği noktalardan bir
Timur's
tanesi.
campaigns brought devastation as well as glory. Entire cities were reduced to rubble and countless lives were lost. That's why historians still debate, was Timur a hero or a tyrant? Perhaps he was both, a man of contradictions, capable of destruction and creation at the same time. In 1402, Timur faced one of his most famous rivals, Ottoman Sultan Bayezid I, known as Yıldırım, meaning the thunderbolt. The two armies clashed near Ankara, and Timur emerged victorious. That victory temporarily shattered the Ottoman Empire and solidified Timur's reputation as the most powerful ruler of his time. After his greatest triumphs, Timur still hungered for more. In 1404, he began preparations for an ambitious campaign toward China. But on the way, he fell ill near Otrar and died in early 1405. His body was brought to Semerkand and laid to rest in a magnificent mausoleum, Gur-i Amir, the tomb of the commander. It wasn't just a burial place, it was a monument to his power and his love for beauty. The turquoise dome, golden calligraphy, and intricate mosaic work make it one of the masterpieces of Central Asian architecture. Inside, alongside Timur, lie his sons and grandsons, the ancestors of the great Mughal dynasty in India. In fact, the design of Gur-i Amir later inspired Mughal architecture, including perhaps the most famous monument of all, the Taj Mahal. But there is a haunting story attached to Timur's tomb. In 1941, Soviet archaeologists opened his grave. On his coffin, they reportedly found an inscription that read, "Whosoever disturbs my tomb shall unleash an invader more terrible than I." 3 days later, Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union. Coincidence or curse, the legend of Timur's tomb still fascinates people to this day. Today, if you walk through the streets of Semerkand, his name is everywhere, in statues, museums, and monuments. To some, he is the father of the Turkic Islamic Renaissance. To others, he is a ruthless conqueror. But no one can deny that Timur was a figure far ahead of his time, a man who forged a civilization from the chaos of war. His story reminds us that true power is not just in the sword, but in the mind and the vision behind it. Empires rise and fall, but the marks we leave in art, in stone, in history can last forever. Timur's life is not only a story of conquest, but of the eternal human desire for greatness, creativity, and immortality.